What's up, boys? We're back with some more God of Weapons new DLC. We're going for a full Necromancer build today. So we'll have an Aura of Death around ourselves, dealing constant damage based on magic power, summons inside it that are healed based on magic power, and then we'll gain permanent summon power for every certain number of enemies that die inside of it. And we start with an extra Crown Skull, which is a skeleton warrior summoning thing. I think baseline it can have up to 4 of them, and they're just a very generic melee minion. Out of the 3 starting weapons, the only one that really interacts with summoning stuff is the Wand of Unlife. Deals a bit of magic damage that inflicts chill, and then if that weapon itself gets a kill, it has a chance to summon something. I'm not sure what the summon it does itself is, but I guess we'll take that anyways. Our starting item gives us summon power based on melee power. Probably won't get a ton of value out of that, but maybe there will be something that gives like both magic and melee power later on that can give us something out of that. So there's our little wands thing. Here's our little Aura of Death. We'll want to stay kind of close to enemies so we can start farming summoning power. Outside of this aura, it's actually fairly difficult to get summoning power. You can get some from a new potion that will also reduce your HP when you use it. And then there's a couple of passive items that give some decent summoning stats, but they take up quite a bit of inventory room as well. So there's our little skeleton warriors as well from the rune skull. I'll have to finish up the leveling here to actually take a look at the stats over there. I should actually get some more around the chains here, I suppose. So you can see on the right, the skeleton warriors, we can have up to 3 of them, it looks like. Decent damage, and I think summons actually get your full stats for stuff like crit chance, attack speed, range, stuff like that. So with a range of 15, we can actually make those hit quite a bit further away. Let's see, okay, so this will summon a bone golem. You can also get an item that will directly summon those without needing to kill. Let's see, 0.1% chance for 10 magic power, so a pretty high 100 magic power would add a 1% chance up to 3%. So that's pretty hard to actually scale unless you're getting a ton of kills with the wand itself. We actually did get a few summoning things in here. The preserved parasite summons something that taunts and then explodes into plague. So I think I do want one of those just for the taunting effect. I don't know if we can really fit everything into here with the weird shapes on some of these. Does that not fit? Okay, there we go. If I had done a bit more over there, maybe. They're both 2x3. I guess we'll get some of these for the duration. And then since I can't really fit anything else in there, we should go back so that both of these are touching the chains at least. More barrels are usually nice. Can I fit those in somewhere? Probably. Yeah, we can do like that. And then do a few rerolls. That thing is the one that gives you summon power when you get kills with the scythe itself, but it deals melee damage. Man, these summoning things take up a lot of room. We're gonna need some heavy levels before we can really get value out of them. I could get another barrel thing. Kind of like getting some of those early on. XP. That is melee and attack speeds. It's honestly not terrible. We just don't really have a ton of room right now. 8% attack speed is not bad, I think. Resources, we could probably fit that in. Use that for a bit of greed for a while and then replace it later on. That's the purple wand we started with. Healing, increase enemies. I guess at some point we'll have to see how many of these you need to upgrade them. I guess we can check right now. Some of the very large items seem to take 2 items to combine, but these ones seem to be 3, so that's probably out then. If I had grabbed it earlier, we could have done it. Yeah, I guess we gotta sell that now, rip. The lightning rods for the lightning elementals with the bouncing attack only take 2. I'm not sure how you see that without actually trying it though, since I returned to the game recently and I missed a few of the updates that changed a bunch of stuff, so I'm still learning a bunch of the new mechanics for the game. One thing I'm curious about is if the range stat will work on this aura. That will actually make it insanely strong here, so we'll have to experiment with that at some point as well. So we got a skull there. I guess we should grab it to try to combine here. And there's probably a way to fit it in even if I don't want to do that. God, these things are just so weirdly shaped, man. So we could have it like that and it would still touch that as well if we wanted to. I do like the shields, those are pretty nice, but we don't have a ton of space now. I'll get that for some extra farming time so that we can kill more stuff for the aura. So the 63 is, I think, the number of kills it's gotten. Yeah, we have 3 summon power off of that. Magic and melee, that's not terrible. These things that permanently enhance your weapons don't work on summoning things, but it might work on the purple wand, actually. I guess we could keep that and use those as a target for it. Yeah, you can't use them on pure summoning items, but hybrid killing and summoning items do seem to work. So we can scale that up and see how it performs in the endgame then with those. Oh, we have some gems. So a summon will gain plague on hits, and a weapon will gain a smaller plague on hits. Oh, let's try it on the purple thing, since that has both. Doesn't seem like the aura opens barrels, unfortunately, though. And we should also try to get some decent survivability, just so I can stand in the middle and keep the aura on as many things as possible. So I wouldn't mind some of those for the 10 range. They do take up a lot of slots though. I guess we could toss one over here, see if that works on the aura. Critical chance for vitality, that's fine. I guess we could. And we could upgrade the wand up to legendary if I want to with that. Seems like that should be a pretty good boost in the early game. You can't actually see the summon stats when there's a gem in there, which is a bit annoying. Bone Golem 400 health, 132 damage. Seems pretty strong if we can actually trigger them with the kills. Then we can combine that. So now we can summon 4 of them, and they're a bit stronger it looks like. And the cooldown on those scales with magic power. Oh, I could have actually grabbed the parasite there, oops. So yeah, we can try one of those to like AoE taunt enemies and leave a plague pool that scales with magic power. Sounds pretty interesting. Melee and magic power. I feel like losing the crit chance leaves you at sort of a net neutral, depending on your other stats. But we do have some other stuff like cooldown and area, and then chance of summon. So we have slightly higher magic power scaling than normal. So I guess that's fine. Let's see, if I can move that, we can grab another range thing over here as well. Projectile power, move speeds, tier 2 Wand of Unlife, nah. We'll probably just keep the one legendary one that we started with. I don't think the aura's getting bigger there. The skeletons should have much longer range now though. We've got these guys taunting them and leaving a plague pool now as well. There's a weapon that appears at blue rarity only that has a chance to summon like a hungry ghoul or something, and they have huge lifesteal for themselves, and then they also give a small percentage of that to you whenever they lifesteal. So I'd definitely love to try some of those if we see them at some point. Experience gain, enemy speeds. We can try to get another of those. I do have a decent amount of money here. These are both tier 1. If I don't find another, we'll have to sell it though. I have 6 slots, so technically I could fit it in somehow. If I could rearrange stuff for that. We'd probably have to do it up here somewhere, since that stuff is very hard to move. Or I guess over there would be fine as well if I could find a way to do that. Yeah, so we can fit that in, and then that'll make it easier to upgrade, and we got that anyways. Oh crap, that was a 2-piece to upgrade. I didn't even notice that. Yeah, like, is there a way to see that when you're looking at the shop or something? So we can toss that onto the wand. And then we can get some extra time with that. Or I can just toss that back in if we don't find anything. I think I'll probably just do that since we already have it. Blue scythe, probably not. Experience gain. Galvanizing coil. Yeah, those also take 2 to combine. I don't see if there's like a mention of that anywhere on the weapon. It doesn't seem like it. Seems like something you should list on there. So we'll just toss that in and head on. So we can go ahead and bring that up to purple with all of those now. So we can actually have up to 3 of those now. Seems like pretty good damage, only uses summon power though. Although the area of effect goes up a ton with magic power, which actually is pretty cool. Oh, that's the lifesteal thing. 10% lifesteal for each adjacent lifesteal item, 1 summon quantity for each 15 magic power. Strikes enemies with melee attacks that can lifesteal, healing itself for 20 and restoring 1 HP to the player. Yeah, we definitely want that, so we can have it right there to touch that thing. And then all of our summons are touching that, although it doesn't do a ton. We do have 8 melee power, so a little bit. This is one of the new summon passives. It does lower your armor, but has some pretty decent overall stats on them. Luck, crit chance, attack speed, nah. Let's see, so melee power is very good for us. I mean, magic power is very good, and then melee power is okay. So I think we get better than normal value out of that. We can lock it. Like, even if you only get one of those stats, it still gives decent value overall. If you use enough of them, you might get unlucky a few times. But if you have 2 stats, then it's huge value. Now we should have pretty good healing with the extra lifesteal ghouls. So I'd like to get some armor and dodge to really multiply the value of that if possible. Bunch of barrels sitting over there. I think we got projectile power off of that, so the 1 and 3, that's pretty bad for us. That's not terrible. I don't know about that. I kind of do like that. The enemy amount will help us farm more summon power off of the aura, and then armor, it gives a decent amount, will multiply by our healing effects. That's a tier 3, so we could directly replace that. Yeah, I guess so. Well, I can put it out here in case we find a blue one. Oh, I do need 2 copies of that, so that's probably not happening. Enemy at a mountain range. Okay, that sounds good. We might be going too hard on the enemies, but it could pay off in the long run. Magic power, luck, lose attack speed, I don't think so. Man, I suck at destroying barrels. You have to have like some of the summons come and attack an enemy that's close to them or something. Or have the wand shoot through it. Oh, I forgot about the banish thing. We can just get rid of 2 weapons that I'll never use, I guess. I think that's all the ones I have for now. Enchanted Blessed. Oh, this is the Bone Golem thing. It gains area of effect for each adjacent magic power item, and then its damage scales a bit with magic power as well. 2x4, god, that takes up a lot of room. Probably not gonna try and fit that in. I don't think we need that. We could maybe rearrange that and have it touch that, but it just sounds like such a pain. I guess that shouldn't be too bad. I need somewhere to fit that thing out of the way. That doesn't quite work. We need this row entirely free, which is kind of hard to do with that thing right now. God, I hate the rearranging in this sometimes. Well, we can fit it in there and it doesn't have to touch the thing currently, and then we can mess with that later, I guess. Crit chance and attack speed, that's pretty nice. I think those do work on all of the summon stats. So 10% and 0.83. 14% and 0.79, yeah. Magic power crit chance. Lifesteal. Blue miasma canister. Tier 1 wand of unlife. Vitality recovery. Oh, that's pretty good. Damage, attack speed, or move speed. So in a weapon we get move speed on kills or on a summon. We gain move speed next to it and the summon gains attack speed next to me. Okay, that sounds pretty nice for a summon then. What do we have a lot of? Probably the skeleton warriors, I think. I think I like the lifesteal tools the best. They just give a ton of healing so far. Although having one copy of the taunt guys that explode into the plague cloud is also super nice. Just to draw some aggro off of us. We can get a purple bone golem. I guess we'll probably just sell that and take that. Although for now I can have that in the temporary thing. And then we can position those in a way that I can have it touching the chains as well. I don't mind a shield. I don't think we really need it. I have so much lifesteal so far. can get a bit more duration with that thing and some luck for higher rarity stuff. Dodge and crit chance is actually pretty nice. I don't have any lifesteal personally, and I don't think that should really affect the ghouls too much, since they have so much already. Can we fit that thing in as well? Probably. Is there somewhere else I can move that stuff? Okay, I think that works. Nature Elemental, those are pretty cool, but I think we're just gonna stick with the undead here. Magic power thing, preserved parasites. We actually have most of the summons at purple already, that's pretty nice. Upgrade the wand again. Then at tier 5 we get a more unique bonus for it. I guess we can toss one of these in for a bit of magic power and crit for now. Weapon critical hits applies chill. Summon units explode upon death, dealing 150% of their damage as AoE. That sounds cool on the taunt guys who will explode at the end, so we get a double explosion effect. Oh, there's that thing, right? I guess we have to sell it then. How many of those does it take to combine? 2. So if we had gotten one more of those. So how's the aura doing so far? 407, so that would be 20 summon power off of that. Not bad. Tier 1, piercing and range. I don't think we even have any projectile-based summons here. Although that probably would work on the wand, huh? Since that's a range attack. Or actually, that probably pierces through stuff already, right? Shrug, I don't know. Lose armor, gain damage and dodge chance for movement speeds. We have negative movement speed, so probably not. Does that have summon power and vitality? Probably not. Purple parasite, so we can actually do the legendary with that, right? Let's see what that looks like. 220 health, 161 damage. We can have up to 4 of them. And the AoE increases by 6% for every 2 magic power. Could get pretty crazy late game. Move speed, crit chance, lose range. Honestly, range seems really good here though. Attack speed and floor duration. I actually do like that, I think. Man, we actually have pretty high rarity on all the summons for this early into the game. Purple can join Dull, so we can combine those, I think. Why can't I... Oh, I'm out of gold. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So we can lock those and then toss the gems into stuff. Converts summon cooldown into attack speed. That's actually interesting with the skeleton, right? Those gain cooldown based on magic power, which would then give attack speed. Oh god, I didn't see the elite there, ouch. Alright, let's chain these things and try to kill him. Where is he? Over here, it looks like. Immunity, try and kill the elites. Alright, the ranged elites are a bit of an issue right now. So we can toss that onto the wand up to tier 5, and we got extra range on that. And now he gains 5% for each adjacent magic power item. I think we only have that one currently. Oh, that as well. If we could have those touching it, that'll get a lot more AoE. Actually, if we have them like this, we can eventually have like 4 on each side. How much dodge do I have? 3? I could do some of those. Kind of expensive slot-wise, though. Yep, we could definitely use that. And then I think I will grab some shields for now. Automaton summon, crit chance and attack speed. We have one of those over there. That's one of the summon items with some pretty good sets. 15% cooldown reduction and 8 power. Takes up 4 slots. Recovery dodge chance, that's actually pretty good. Since we need survivability right now. 40% lifesteal on kill. Trying to not have these make super awkward areas over here. Oh, we can actually just fit it in right there easily. Then I'll probably take that for some survivability for now, and then we actually have a lot of unused space. Wings, can't get those right now, but I will save them, and then I think that's probably fine as well. So we used a potion that'll spawn an elite here. We have to watch out for that somewhere. There's kind of a lot going on screen right now, though. I think that's him? Need to watch out for that ranged fire attack. By standing that, that's a lot of damage, as we found out last time. God, there's just so much stuff on screen. And I've done it all to myself, with all my summons. So we can grab both of those for some nice passive stats. And then I need to look out for some more magic power stuff to put close to that to give him huge AoE. And get that for magic power crit chance. I don't like losing the armor. I think we'll pass on that. I really need survivability, to be honest. We can do that. It might be kind of risky, but more Necromancer scaling. It does give a nice amount of armor, though. That'll bring us almost to neutral again. Crit chance, lose damage. Move speed, resource, enemy amounts. I think we probably have enough, and I might get more shackles anyways. Upgrade the wand again. Sure, another anti-death thing. I don't mind that because it gives so much range on top of that. Let's see, the summons do gain that, right? Range 16, those guys don't. Range 15, oh, I guess they don't get range. They get most of the other stats except that, I guess. Those guys don't even have a range stat, so probably not there. So I guess probably the wand is the only thing that actually gets range. Okay, I guess we don't really want those then. Oh, we can get a purple banshee. Her area of effect increases based on magic power. I doubt we can have it touching the middle, but that's probably fine. The knockback force improves per adjacent undead item, so we'd probably want her to be touching some of the other summoning stuff. Maybe over here would be not too difficult. Undead units at the same time, not bad. I think that was a new starting item unlock. So we could have something other than the shackles now since we're not really using melee power. I guess it is kind of nice that you have one hybrid item to use those anvils on anyways. Attack chance, crit chance are pretty nice. Armor for one slot, it's not bad. I think we have enough floor duration. I'm not going to go super greedy, although we could scale up a lot more. It's just going to make the floors take so long to get through. Lifesteal dodge chance, but we start at 1 HP. Do the non-ghouls get lifesteal? No. No, so it'd probably only apply to the wands. I'm probably gonna pass on that then. 4 damage, I guess that probably doesn't do a ton. Crit chance, 82, I guess so. Magic power crit chance if we want to put that on the bone golem. Lose more armor, probably not. I guess we'll have really low attack speed, or really low movement speed, but insane attack and crit chance. More wing shackles if I want those. Caller's hand is pretty good. I think I'm gonna pass on those for now. We can't use both of those. I would need one more slot somewhere. I think we'll grab the wings for now. I think that's fine. We go down to 90 XP, but 10 damage is not bad. Nah. Damage enemy amounts. Kind of hard to fit in if I wanted that anyways. Those are not bad, but nah. I could probably get another of those if I wanted to. We can upgrade one of the summons up to legendary. I think we'll do the lifesteal ghouls, those are pretty nice. And I should actually see if there's a good gem for them. 5% attack speed would give more healing. Oh, you can add their effect to any summon with that. Okay, that's sick. Let's see, what summon would hit a ton? Probably the red bone golem would have decent AoE since they scale with magic power. And then I guess we'll toss the other gems in there as well to try and maximize that. That one's fine on the summon, I think. And we'll put attack speed on those since they naturally have lifesteal. like a full barrel build that just permanently gets those immortality things? So one more and that'll be maxed out for those and get its second unique effect. Crit chance for vitality. I guess it's fine, but I feel like my damage is already decent and I don't really want to lower my survivability anymore currently. I think we got melee at the cost of magic, not the greatest trade. So range doesn't even work, those aren't actually that great. I can get a red parasite if I wanted that. Oh, that buffs adjacent magic power items as well. So if we moved this and then put them in between those two, they would get huge value. Kind of hard to get stuff on that, but I think that thing's not the most important. If we could move it like this, and then have that go up there, that would be kind of hard to do. But it would give me more room to maximize them in between those two. So like that will have 3 spaces to maximize magic power in between them. They'll gain +5 and then buff the area on that thing. Was there one more somewhere? Is there a way to like search your items for a specific set? That might have been the only 2. So we could definitely use one more magic power item then. I think I'm okay with just one of those, although a red in the shop is pretty nice. Purple Banshee, I think I'm fine, so I guess we'll go ahead and grab one of those just because it's such high value in between the two of those. And then we can actually put some more around that to gain a bunch of magic power since there's a few things that scale off of that pretty nicely. Purple Bone Golem, nah. Another magic power. So I guess we'll want to create an area around that we can really maximize those. And I'll need to make sure I can still fit those in. It might be hard to have everything touching that, but again, it's not the most important thing, I think, since we're not scaling melee that much, just the potions really. I think we'll probably have the ghouls touching that. But that would make it kind of hard to fit the skull in if we want to get all the power over there. So I guess we'll just do that because it's easier. Oh, I could have the ghouls over there still. That's annoying. So like that. Wait, that's not touching it. Just kidding, I'm dumb. I want that touching the undead stuff. Is there a way to have the ghoul touching that as well then? And then I want some more magic power to get the bonus off of the parasites. One random character starting item, a 20% failure rate. I've never seen that before and it sounds interesting. I'm probably going to waste gold. %1 attack speed for each movement speed. Well, that's useless. That would be very good for most builds that aren't like stacking these shackle things. But I think that's going to be pretty difficult for me to use. So that's the last anvil we need for the wands. I don't think we're going to use anything else that can scale with those. I guess there's actually not much downside to those. Could get the movement speed back up a little bit. I'm not sure if I want to keep that. Does everything look good here? We have the most important undead touching that. Oh, I guess I could actually have the ghouls on that, since we have so much free space right now. It's one less for the Banshee, but I'm not sure I care that much about the knockback force. So I think that's fine for now. We have a lot of slots I need to fill after that elixir though. Oh yeah, there's going to be some leads here, so let's wait on that circle thing. Minus 1% damage when moving, a bunch of stats when you stand still. I don't think so. Another ghoul, and they are fairly small space-wise. Won't really be able to touch that, but we could have it touch the Banshee, I guess. I don't have anything for that now, since everything else is just pure summons. Or magic power to touch that thing. And then we could eventually have 2 more on that side as well. That's going to be a lot of magic power for the things that scale with that. I wish you could see the summon stats when you have gems socketed in there. That's super annoying. I guess that's fine. I need to get another slot over there to have one more touching that. Remove the gold. I think I'm fine with those being as strong as possible though. Another shackle. I think I'm okay on that. Getting kind of close to the end of the run anyways. Oh, I think I had a purple in that. Oops. I kind of need Titanites. I still have a bunch of meta progression to get. I guess we could... No, I still can't quite fit the other one in there, but we can do that and then have one go sideways once I get that slot over there. 20% weapon damage, 40% summon damage. Summon units take reduced damage or increase armor after enemy kills. Oh, that sounds nice for a weapon effect then. And then I guess we can just toss that on whatever I think the best damage summon is. I guess probably the Bone Golem should be pretty good since we have a lot of stuff buffing that and it's touching the centerpiece. I wish there was a way to change the color of certain circles. Like, my own circle is red just like enemies, and then opening chests and barrels and stuff is also red just like enemies. It's kind of weird that circles that are bad for you and circles that are good for you are almost the exact same. Oh, that's the first time we've seen that summon and magic power lose vitality. Summon quantity for each adjacent summon item. We definitely want that. Purple skull. I think it was 2 for those? Or was it 3? I don't remember. Three, uh-oh. We definitely want that. That is a weird shape. 2x3, but part of it shifted off to the side. We could maybe touch those two. Man, that is a weird shape. Yeah, I think 2 is probably the best we're going to get without really messing up my stuff. Oh wait, that's kind of weird actually, since it would be facing the bone there. I don't know, man. That thing is weird. It's so hard to fit in there. I guess we'll just... Why can't I... Oh, that thing didn't move. Yeah, I guess we'll probably just end up going like that. And then I'll need to make sure I still have room for that. Then hopefully we find another skull since it takes 3 of those massive things for some reason. I don't think I'm going to lower my vitality right now. Those are decent attack speed, magic power, although losing melee actually does hurt a little bit. Oh, that's actually not bad. 11% dodge chance for 2 slots. I actually don't mind that. And then once we put that back in, I'll have even worse. Yeah, it's going to be kind of hard to get everything to work here. We definitely want the slot there for a magic power item. I need to slot that back in at some point. I might just sell some of the barrel stuff here. Another magic power, we can toss that there. And then I guess those will actually give me more dodge chance combined with that thing. That's kind of cool. Resource XP gain, we're getting kind of close to the end. I think I'll pass, although it's pretty good. Whoa, I've never seen that before. Attack speed equal to lifesteal. Adjacent lifesteal items receive 4%. Adjacent to Divine Punisher gain lifesteal equal to recovery? Holy, I've never seen a unique weapon before. 7 slots it looks like? Doesn't fit the build, but I mean it's cool for another build. It's more inventory space. Can I do something easily here? Is that quantity for the ones that are next to it or for everything? Like, is it global quantity? Yes. So you do want as many summon things next to that as possible. Another magic power. I think we have all of the things surrounding that. Oh, purple skull. Okay, that works. I can actually put it in there somewhere. So we can have up to 6.6 skeletons. 1% cooldown for each 10 magic power. Seems like they have pretty high damage for the amount you can have of them. Pretty fast attack speed. So we do want those on the skeleton since they have that bonus cooldown effect scaling with magic power. That has the same thing, so we could do that. We could combine them. I'm not sure if combining is like doubling stats or not. We'll definitely have good value with 2 of those anyways, and I don't really have that many gems in the first place. Dodge chance after enemy kills. Ooh, that's pretty nice for the wands. Weapons attack speed or summoned attack speed, so that'll be good with a lifesteal thing. We could probably put that on the golem since we added the lifesteal to them with that. Summon units deal additional damage chance to apply shock. 7 units chance to apply plague. Probably not super important. So can we have more summon stuff touching that for the quantity? The ghouls aren't too bad if we could find a way to shift stuff around. Probably just sell that since I don't get much value out of range anyways. And then we can have that touching that. And that. And that'll give us 30% summon quantity. There's definitely a way to do that better, but I kind of just want to get on with the run, I feel like. I'm now very slow, but we're actually getting dodge chance from that, so it's kind of helpful for some things. We could probably go ahead and use some more of those now that we're getting close to the end. And I actually could get all that XP back with some of those. I mean, it's probably worth 200. We're not really completely full on slots right now anyways. Magic power. I think we're okay on that. I could move that ghoul and have it touching that, and then fit one more next to that. The ghoul would be a bit weaker, but we'd have more summon quantity and magic power. I guess that's fine. So we can have it like that, and then it'll be easier to have some other stuff touching that for the quantity at some point. Although we can't do it currently, just need to add some level ups up there. So 82 magic power for any of the unique effects for that. Vitality recovery. I honestly wouldn't mind that. We can also use those potions for summoning power. Although I get so much from the Necromancer. 901 would be like almost 50 times, 45 times I think. So I feel like Necromancer probably gets the least use out of those. So honestly, let's pass on that. I can put the gloves next to those. Right? Why do they look so different there? That one's like up in the air, like closer towards the camera. Kind of weird. I wouldn't mind that for the survivability. Could probably toss it like there. Another one if I want it. Probably not. Another summoning thing. It's kind of late for that, but damage and armor is pretty nice. Probably be easy. Oh, I can get rid of that range thing, and then we're close to having the room for that anyways. I could do that for now. And there's not that many slots left. Actually, wouldn't mind more negative movement speed things just to give us a ton of dodge. That caps out at 80%. We can upgrade one item on the next level, which would be probably that. We can still combine that up to purple maybe. Magic power and attack speed. Oh, those are pretty nice. We could replace one of these things, get that armor penalty down a bit. There's a lot of stuff going on screen with those huge plague explosions and the insane number of undead. Lots of red circles with some of them actually being beneficial to me. Ow. I can't tell what's going on. Uh-oh, I think there's enemies that leave plague clouds around as well now. Actually, it might be better to get rid of that. Oh, I didn't notice that unique part at the bottom. Okay. Yeah, we're not really going melee or enchanted weapons though. Yeah, so I guess those aren't the greatest. Another red golem if we wanted that. It just takes up so much space, I don't think so. Purple mirror, so we could... Oh, it probably takes 3 of those almost certainly since they're that small. Guess we may as well take some more of those. Another of those, we could go directly to red on that. It's kind of weird you can't buy stuff directly into the temporary slots as well. I don't really see any reason you can't do that. We could probably fit that in now. I kind of just want to get a few more summons around the Book of Friends though. Just get a ton of summon quantity. There is a blue ghoul. We can do something with that. Oh, those are actually pretty nice as a magic power item. No real downside since we're not really using lifesteal myself, I think. Purple ghoul bone. We can... How many of these is it? 3? So... If we got one more blue one... No. I'll have to upgrade... I could upgrade like both of those to purple. I don't know if that's really worth it. We may as well just turn that into a red one. think we have enough of those probably. And then can I get some more on that? I think so. Alright, 60% summon quantity. And then I guess we could wait on that. If I can find one more blue one, we could make that go directly to red. I forgot about that thing. Can I fit that in easily? Yes. So we got a purple bone. I can do a red off of that. Another of those. I don't think I care too much at this point. That's fine. 18 recovery, not that much. I don't think so. Although, being able to scale with both melee and magic does make it a bit cooler. I think I just want to keep my maximum survivability. My damage is more than enough, I think. And we already have a ton of summon power anyways. That's actually not terrible because I have quite a bit of dodge. Wait, the movement speed penalty would actually feed into that further. Okay, that's actually not bad, I think. Summons gain crit chance, weapon crit chance. Summon units have a chance to apply lifesteal. You know, that sounds kind of cool on the Banshees doing their persistent AoE effects. Oh wait, I can use that on the Banshee, that's right. Then is there anything else that would be really cool over there? Do they have an attack speed? Yes. Then just generic crit chance, that can go on anything really. Can we touch that thing? I would need one more slot there for it. You can probably do that after this run. So we can now do that, get a little bit more summon quantity, and I could actually squeeze one in there as well at some point. Now we're up to at least 52 dodge, plus more if I take damage for even lower movement speed. That's the tier upgrade. We can use that on a purple bone. Go straight to red. Is there anything else in here? I think it's all red. Yeah, it's just the bones over there. The minus movement speed actually gives me some dodge off of the hourglass. So that's kind of a double survivability, armor and dodge. I guess we could? More gloves if I want those. Can I move that thing? Probably. Another recovery magic power. More movement speed penalty. It's getting kind of hard to fit stuff. We could probably get rid of that barrel thing. It's actually not bad for one slot. Summon units critical damage. We do have a lot of crit chance, so that's mostly just a direct damage increase then. So yeah, pretty strong undead summoner build. We ended up getting very low movement speed, which gave us some pretty nice dodge with the hourglass. That turned the shackles into double survivability, armor plus dodge, as well as summon power scaling with the Necromancer passive. Kinda cool. These things gave a bunch of attack speed and crit chance, and then some extra dodge off of that. We had huge magic power scaling with the +5 from that and the extra area on that. Lots of summon quantity, which a bunch of bones around that. Pretty cool. Now we have a little bit more meta progression to spend, but we still kind of wrecked that anyways. I'll probably try an automaton build next, so we'll need projectile power for that. And then probably some more banishes and a bit of health. But that's going to be it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.